I want to share something I never thought I would talk about publicly, something I battled in silence for years, something that held me in a quiet prison even while I pretended everything was fine. My addiction to cigarettes. It didn't start as a dangerous habit. It started as a comfort, a relief, a way to escape pressure, a way to feel in control when life felt too heavy. But what I didn't realize was that every cigarette I lit was quietly taking control of me instead. At first I told myself, I can stop anytime. But the truth was, I couldn't. I kept going back. The more stressed I became, the more I smoked. The more lonely I felt, the more I reached for it. Cigarettes became my companion, my coping mechanism, my silent weakness. I didn't smoke because I wanted to. I smoked because something inside me was hurting. There were days I promised myself, today is the day I quit. And by sunset, I was lighting another one. I felt guilty. I felt weak. I felt stuck in a cycle I didn't know how to break. I hid it from people. I hid it from myself. I hid it from God. But addiction is like a shadow. It follows you even when you try to run from it. One night I looked at myself in the mirror and asked, is this who I want to be forever? The answer was no. Something deep inside me whispered that I was created for more than this habit that was slowly controlling my life. I didn't break free instantly. It didn't happen in one day. It didn't happen with one prayer. It didn't happen with one decision. It started with honesty about my weakness, honesty about my struggle, honesty about the battle inside me. I had to stop pretending I was strong and admit that I needed help. Not just physical help, but emotional help, spiritual help, a deeper kind of help that came from God Himself. The first real change began when I asked God to give me the strength I didn't have. I told Him exactly how I felt. I told Him I was tired of hiding, tired of craving, tired of depending on something that was destroying me. And God listened, not by removing the addiction instantly, but by giving me the strength to fight one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one craving at a time. The addiction didn't disappear, but my will to fight grew stronger. Every time I felt the urge to smoke, I prayed. Every time I felt weak, I reminded myself that God's strength is made perfect in weakness. Every time I felt defeated, I reminded myself that battles are won little by little. I began replacing cigarettes with breathing, with walking, with water, with prayer, with silence, with moments of surrender. Slowly, the habit started losing its power. Slowly, the cravings became lighter. Slowly, my spirit grew stronger than my desire to smoke. There were days I failed, days I slipped, days I felt like giving up, but even on those days, God didn't give up on me. I realized that addiction is not broken by perfection, it is broken by persistence. Every day I didn't pick up a cigarette was a victory. Every hour I resisted was a breakthrough. Every moment I said no was a moment I reclaimed my life. I started seeing the world with clearer lungs and a clearer mind. I began noticing the things addiction had numbed in me: peace, patience, strength, energy, hope. I felt like I was coming back to myself again, like I was breathing for the first time, like freedom was no longer a dream but a journey. The chains that once held me began to break one by one, not because I was strong, but because God strengthened me where I was weak. Addiction taught me that healing is not quick, not easy, not glamorous, but it is possible. It taught me that every addiction begins in the heart before it reaches the hands, and healing must start in the soul before it shows in the body. I discovered that what I was really longing for was comfort. But comfort cannot come from something that destroys you. It can only come from God who restores you. I learned that willpower alone is not enough. You need faith, endurance, a reason stronger than your cravings. And for me, that reason was freedom to breathe without guilt, to live without dependence, to rise above the things that once controlled me, to become who God created me to be. Addiction whispered lies, but God spoke truth. Addiction weakened me, but God strengthened me. Addiction tried to destroy me, but God rebuilt me. The day I realized I had gone 1 week without smoking, I cried. Tears of victory, tears of gratitude, tears of someone who finally tasted freedom after being trapped for so long. If you're fighting an addiction right now, cigarettes, alcohol, habits, people, thoughts, hear me when I say this. You are stronger than you think. You are not alone. You are not hopeless. Your story is not over. And God will give you the strength to break the chains holding you. Healing takes time, but freedom is worth every moment. One day you will look back and say, I didn't break free by my own strength. God carried me out of this. My silent battle became my testimony, and your testimony is coming too.